Floyd's Mayhem Garage today. Got a few things I'm working on. Well, sort of. Got really more so one focus, but get you up to speed on a few things here. One of which is 440. This is the 440 I pulled out of my crew cab when I swapped it over to a Cummins. So this has been sitting in the back. I'm getting this stripped down and cleaned up. I'll get some older sheet metal put on it, the correct water pump, stuff like that, because this is going to end up in the Daytona. So, been working on that, but at the same time, got my sister's truck in here. So, I think I've mentioned it in the past, my dad has been putting together an engine over here. Kind of see it there. It's got a 390. So, this truck currently has a sweaty old oily 360 in it. If I remember correctly, it's the original motor. The heads have been redone at one point, but it smokes pretty bad. It's got a couple cylinders that are pretty low on PSI, and it's just tired and old, but it does still run. So we're gonna put a new motor in it though. But history-wise on this truck is pretty interesting. Let me get into that. So at the back of the truck here, looking at the tailgate, it's a little dark back here, but we can zoom in here. And a deal is a deal. And of course we got 4 on the tailgate. So this truck has some neat and interesting history to it. This truck is something that me and my dad actually originally built and put together. So back up even a little bit further, I should say, my sister's 8 years older than me. My mom smoked her whole life, and my sister started smoking as well. And my dad just never wanted either one of them to smoke. Never could get my mom to stop smoking. And when my sister started smoking, he tried to get her to stop as well. And so he really didn't want me to start smoking. So he made me a deal, and this was originally with an 88 Chevy pickup that he had. But he told me, graduate high school, don't do drugs, and don't smoke, and I'll give you my truck with a lift kit. And so that was the original deal. And as I started getting a little bit older, I wanted to work on something. I was getting really interested in cars. And so we ended up picking this truck up. It was just literally an old farm truck. And we ended up fixing it up and putting it together. And this was when I was 15-ish, I'd say. And we ended up building this truck. And so that's where the saying comes in, a deal is a deal. For the deal of graduating high school, not smoking, and not doing drugs. So, but the big one, that was the main focus, was not smoking. And, several, stuff goes along, whatever, this and that. I really started getting into Chargers, and my dad really actually ended up liking this truck. So he ended up keeping the truck, and we built my 74 Charger that I had together, and so on and so forth, went from there. Well, my mom, actually I should back up, my sister, was wanting to quit smoking, and she had made a few attempts here and there, but my mom was having some health issues as well, and my sister knew every time they came over, that was one of the first things they do is go out and smoke, or you hop into a car to go even just down the block. You get in the car, you light up a cigarette. It's the habits that are hard to break. And so my sister knew that if she would never not stop smoking, that my mom wouldn't stop smoking. So my sister made an initiative to stop, and she had officially stopped smoking and didn't have a cigarette for, I think it was 2 weeks. And that's when we got the diagnosis that my mom had lung cancer. And so that was, unfortunately at that point, too late, for my mom's side. But my sister did take the initiative, and of course that was a sort of, I guess if you will, sobering experience as well. My mom did end up passing away from lung cancer. My sister had quit smoking and hasn't smoked since. And because of that, my dad kind of made a similar deal with her, ended up giving her this truck. And so she ended up ending up with it after all of that. And so the tailgate kind of goes along with her situation as well. And so the truck has kind of a lot of meaning throughout the family. So that's where a deal is a deal comes into play. So yeah, I got it in the shop here now, and got to get it torn apart so we can put a motor in it. Before I start working on this thing, there's I always have a list of tools I'd like to purchase, or a list of things I'd like to purchase. Cars are on that list, tools are on that list, there's all kinds of stuff, dirt bikes, things like that. One of them on my list that I'd kind of like to get is a power washer, because I got the truck running, the crew cab. I gotta go borrow one from my sister. Her and Brandon have one. So I'm gonna power wash the hell out of this engine and engine bay before I start working on this thing, because it is nasty. So, but at some point I need to get my own power washer, but I can head over, borrow theirs. Hopefully it's not too cold today, because we do still have a bunch of snow out there, but I think it's 38 degrees, so it's actually warm. So things are melting, so hopefully my water spigot over there is going to work. If not, I guess I'm just going to have to deal with a greasy engine. But go get that picked up and start washing this thing. I almost forgot too, now that we're standing here. Check out the General Mayhem, of course. General Mayhem shirt. See how it looks. My chesticles might make this shirt look a little bit distorted, but got my my David Freiberger shirt. Oh man, can you see the back? Probably not. But yeah, since David Freiberger bought the original General Mayhem back, he put out some shirts, so of course I had to buy a couple. And yeah, I think they're pretty cool. I took some pictures of them with my car. How neat is that? So that's exciting. Yeah, got my shirts, and they're super cool. I really like them. Such a really cool sort of outline. Gives me some ideas. Maybe I'll have to make myself some for my car, but you know, put some RT stripes on it. We'll see. Always thinking of something to do. Well, ran into a little bit of a snag, which I thought I might. Water hose is frozen. It was hung. Usually it thaws out pretty good, but it still had a few frozen spots. So put it in the shop with the heater. So hopefully it'll thaw out and start working. Until then, while I've got a moment here, let's talk about the Ford. We are looking at a 1975 Ford F-250. These are commonly known as high boys. The reason they got that nickname, half tons were coil sprung in the front. The 3/4 tons went to leaf springs, and the way that Ford designed these with the leaf springs, they added a front cross member, and then putting the springs under there naturally made them sit higher. So they added blocks to the rear, and thus they got the nickname High Boys. So, 360 truck, 4-speed, believed to be the original motor. Nice paint job. Man, I think this paint job's 10 years old at this point. Maybe even 11 years old. It's got a few rough spots, but this is a class winner. This has taken best at show at Truck Fest. It took runner-up 1 year. We did some more work to it, cleaned up a few other things, kind of finalized some of the small details, and the following year it took best of show. So, you know, exhaust wise, doesn't sound too bad. You walk up here and you got the distinctive ticking sound. Good old exhaust leak. Actually, I think it's this side. Oh yeah. Yeah, if I remember correctly, one of the studs is broken on that side in the manifold, but got a set of headers for this truck now. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty much original. This truck was originally Glen Green. Per my inspiration, we ended up painting it Y3 Curious Yellow, or Citron Yellow, which is a Mopar color, 1971 only. So it's definitely a bright truck. Other than that, pretty much everything else is original. It's Dana 60 rear, Dana 44 front, drums all the way around. It's got the power assist, which leaked something terrible. Got all the hoses to replace that while we got the motor out, because this has the hydraulic assist ram. Kind of a weird setup, but it works. Except for right now, it's pretty much got no power steering. But yeah, it is a pretty neat truck. Do a walk around here with it. Got the roll bar in it. Found that one on, I think, Craigslist. Bed liner, floor mat. It's dusty, it has been sitting. Of course, got the camper special mirrors. Those are some of my favorite mirrors. Yeah, overall, not a bad truck. It's definitely far from perfect. But overall, it's a pretty cool truck. Nice thing about yellow too, it hides a lot of body work. Unlike, you know, black is the worst. Yellow is very forgiving. And of course, being my sister's truck now, it's got some you know, girly additives, the pink lays, the pink sticker on the dash. So, but overall, just decent kind of black and yellow theme to the truck. Yeah, we'll take a look inside. Oh, did I lock it? I locked it. Floor mats, nice carpet kit, clean seat. This is a redone seat underneath this seat cover, so that is nice. There's got no tears or funny spots underneath it. Yeah, I suppose we'll take it for a spin around the block. The exhaust on this thing is kind of ridiculous. I think it's 2 1/4, but it goes into glass packs. True dual exhaust. This thing's very, very splattery, but it's got a cool sound. It sounds like a truck. All right. Oh man. Yeah, this doesn't have the power steering, but I think it's got no fluid in it right now because it leaks really bad. So it's pretty much just manual steering. Try to keep it out of the snow here. Not sure if you could hear any of that or if it was probably just wind noise. Let's see. 60 when it feels like. There we are. You know, definitely not fast, but that's not what these trucks were built for. These trucks were built for work. They're built to be heavy duty, and that's exactly what this thing is. Voila! Exhaust is unhooked, motor mounts are undone, radiator's out, front accessories are off, Z-bar's unhooked, carburetor, engine plate, throttle's off. I believe this thing's ready to yank out. So, of course, since I've got it at my disposal, I'm gonna roll this out front. We're just starting to get dark here, but I think we're all right. I think we're gonna use some diesel power because I don't think the cherry picker's quite tall enough. I could take the front wheels off and drop it down, but hell, I got a diesel tractor, so as long as that thing starts, I think we'll be in business. Yeah, roll this out and yank the motor out. Voila! 360's out. So got some snow because we got a little bit of antifreeze spillage, and same thing, a little bit of antifreeze spillage. But yeah, 360's out on a pallet. Have to leave it somewhat accessible because I have to still get some parts off of it, clutch and bell housing and flywheel and all that. More specifically, yeah, good old heaters on because it's getting cold. Push the Ford back in, and what do you know? We got a big empty hole. So yeah, that just about finishes this up, you know, for this anyways. From here, gotta finish pulling some stuff out, undo the power steering pump, because we got the new lines, undo all the lines, and then clean is the big one. So I'm gonna paint the frame while we're in here, and then the firewall was never painted. So I'm gonna clean that up, sand that, paint it, strip all the stuff off, mask, all that good stuff. So we'll paint the firewall. Still not sure what we're doing on the inner fenders. These are just galvanized from factory, but they're really dirty, really greasy. See if I can get them cleaned up or see what they look like. Because if I can just clean up the galvanized, that might look all right. But I know my previous Fords I've had, I've ended up sanding these down and painting them black. And so the colored firewall with the black inner fenders and black radiator support mixed with the blue motor, it's a really good contrast. So probably end up doing the same thing on this one. But yeah, I think that finishes up this video. And I suppose till next time, take it easy.